Hi, I'm here with Jordan Passman, and he created Score a Score. Jordan.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
What is Score a Score?
ScoreScore.com is an online marketplace for everything sound. So we do sound design, music, and voiceover.
Okay.
And you can go on if you're a filmmaker or if you have any sort of project that needs sound and say, this is what I'm looking for, this is the price I want to pay, these are the terms. You can upload a video clip up to 3 minutes if you want to, and it goes out to my pool of talent who are all hand selected. And if they're interested, they write original compositions or submissions that are tailored to your project at no cost or obligation to you. So you go on, you literally review your exact video with one option. You can rate it 1 through 5, go next, rate the next one. If you find what you like, you pay exactly what you want to pay.
That's amazing. So you sort of act as like a manager as well to all of these artists.
Exactly. I actually do have my agency license in the state of California. So that was the original idea, is to become an agent for film composers.
Oh, amazing.
And it was kind of a fast road into doing that.
So how did you sort of come up with this idea? You know, what were you doing before where you said, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to start my own thing?
So I was actually unemployed living in New York City when I came up with the idea. And I was wanting to address a need between the top film composer agencies that represented Hans Zimmer and John Williams, and any studio could call and be like, we have this huge blockbuster film, we need John Williams, and it's a done deal. But then I noticed on the internet there was actually people posting projects like, hey, we're on Craigslist and it's $2,500, it's an indie film and we're looking for a great composer that sounds like Hans Zimmer.
Right.
So I decided I wanted to address that market because it was very underserved. And so I created a designated marketplace specifically for that.
Okay.
Because off my hand, I knew 5 different composers that would be thrilled to do an indie feature for $2,500.
Right.
So I started working, I came up with the idea and then started working at a company called ASCAP, which is a Performing Rights Society of Music. It's called American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers.
This is in New York.
In New York.
Okay.
And it was the perfect place to start because I was meeting composers. My first job at ASCAP was look at the Sundance Film Festival list and find out all the composers for all those films.
Okay.
So I'm like, boom, like that's like, you know, all the people I want to work with because they're up and coming composers. So I started kind of collecting their information and then gave my 6 weeks notice after like 6 months working there, saying this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start this company. It's going to help your people. And they were extremely receptive of it, and we worked really well together, and we had a nice thing going.
And then you moved to LA?
And then I moved back to LA and lived in my parents' house and started the company from my bedroom.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So I understand you have an online business and an offline business. How did the two coincide?
So in the way beginning, I came up with the idea for ScoreScore.com, which was a purely online business. And I started shopping that like crazy, going to every ad agency, trailer house, film company that I could and trying to sell them that. And what I realized is that this was 3 years ago, and they weren't quite ready to start just using an online platform to discover music. So I decided to go towards what was working, which was people liked me, they trusted me, they're like, I'll give you a shot. So essentially I did the exact same process of the online business, but through me and filtered through me. So I would go out to, let's say an ad agency came to me, they're like, we have a Burger King commercial, it's 30 seconds, and we want a song that sounds like the Rolling Stones. And here's the budget, and this is when I need it. So I would go out to my pool of composers, send an email, literally, to about 200 composers, and say, this is what we need, this is the price, whatever. They would send me submissions that were tailored to that at no cost or obligation. I would go through them and send them to the client. So my favorite 20, say out of the 60 submissions that I got, I would send to the client.
Okay.
And through that, we had a lot of successful transactions. So I started actually scaling that business, but then after a lot of success, I realized I only have so many hours of the day, and I only have an employee. Like, how am I going to scale it? I can't.
Right.
So 3 years later, after the success of this, I decided to reinvest money from the business into restarting and relaunching the website.
Okay.
And with that, I added voiceover and sound design so I could become all things sound.
Okay.
So right now, we're just relaunching the website, ScoreScore.com, for the first time really as it should have been. I mean, it's just a new and improved, it's beautiful. We have all of our credits such as Google, Chase, Burger King, Verizon, all these major companies, so now we can get all the credits in front of the people that are buying, and it impresses them essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, digital is so much bigger now than it was 3 years ago. Now
Exactly.
everybody's going online to find what they need.
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
Companies like Pop Tent and Maker Studios have actually used the actual website and have helped me. So we've done like a Tide commercial and a Dell, computer commercial through the actual website already. We've helped filmmakers through the website, and it becomes a very scalable idea when it can be working across the world. A Tokyo composer can be working with a Russian filmmaker through my scorescore.com website. So it kind of can change the game, which is very exciting.
Brings a lot of people together.
Exactly.
How do you find your composers?
It's honestly, if you build it, they will come. I mean, this is a community of people that are so hungry for work, and there's so many people that are doing it that I've built a name for Score in a way that, we've been in Billboard and LA Times and Mashable, and people are hearing about us. So once that happens, I get an influx of composer signups, and all I have to do is listen, make sure if they're worthy, we activate them, and if they're not, they're not. I mean, we're really picky with our talent. They have to be super good to be on Score.
About how many are you working with right now?
In all, there's probably about 500 talent creatives, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Voiceover, sound design, and music.